Hello, I'm Princess Lynch, and you're tuned in to Black Butterfly Media Television, and we're here at the 4th Annual Black Writers and Book Club Literacy Festival in Memphis, Tennessee. Today we'll be walking around and we'll be talking to different authors about their books, their aspirations, and their dreams. Some of the featured authors that we'll interview today are Christian Keys, Carl Weber, and Quan. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Black Butterfly Media and Television. We're here today with actor Christian Keys, and he's going to be telling us about his novel.
Ladies' Night, and I got real close to the mic when I said that too. My bad, y'all. It's a really good story. It's about redemption. It's about a young man who goes to prison for something that he shouldn't have done, gets out and has a tough time finding a job, and he ends up working security. He's a doorman at a club that he finds out later is a men's strip club. The female owner of the club talks him into dancing, and he starts making crazy amounts of money. All kind of potential nightmares open up because of that. You know, opportunities to get in some trouble, opportunities to maybe go back to prison. He meets somebody really dope and starts to fall for her. I don't want to ruin the story, but it's a lot of great layers. He has to address the thing that got him in prison in the first place and try to get forgiveness for that. So it's a lot of heart in it. It's a lot of fun in it. It's sexy. It's a good story.
Okay, so Mr. Keys, we know that you have been in tons of films, screenplays, and everything else. It's your first novel. What do we expect from you next?
November 6th, The Man in 3B, the movie, comes out.
They're screening it today, correct?
Yes, I believe so. And then and that's with Lamont Rucker, Mr. Billy D. Williams, D.B. Woodside, Kalita Smith, Nafisa Williams, Brayley Evans, Robert Richard, Jack A. Harry, Marla Gibbs, about 19 other actors in there too. But it's a really good story. If you've read the book, which the book is bananas, it's every bit as good as the book. So I'm excited for everybody to see that. And then my next novel comes out in January. It's called Dr. Feelgood, and that's a really good story too. Well,
so we have one novel out, which is Ladies' Night. Great cover. And next we have another novel coming out. Where can we purchase your books?
Let me see. Barnes & Nobles, some Walmarts and Targets carry it. It's clearly on Amazon. You can get it for your Kindle and for your iPad on digital books and all of that. And pretty much anywhere you can buy a good book. Books A Million, any of those places.
Seeing as you started off acting, but now that we see you're writing, who are your inspirations? Do you have any authors that you see their name and you see a new book and it's like, hey, I have to go grab that?
Well, Carl was actually, before I even met him, you know, I like the way he painted with different words, and he would paint you into the room, but still not clouded with so many details to where you couldn't imagine what the room was like on your own. And I like that. I've been writing for about 10 years, but this is my first novel. I started writing scripts, so but I mean, I read some of everything. I read probably a book or two a month, all different genres of reading. So,
and I know that our audience just wants to be able to contact you or find you, and social media is really big right now. So I know you're probably on Facebook. I know for sure Instagram because I follow you, Twitter, all that good stuff. Where can our audience find you?
My Twitter and Instagram, they're both the same, and that's at Christian Keys. Christian like the religion, K-E-Y-E-S. And my Facebook is facebook.com/Christian Keys official fan page. It's the longest title in the world, but I had to do it because there was 8 other fake Christian Keys pages. So, but yeah, and I run those myself, so I read all the comments, I read all the messages, and I answer as many as I can.
Well, thank you, Mr. Keys. You're tuned in to Black Butterfly Media, and we had the wonderful actor, handsome actor, Christian Keys.
We're back with Black Butterfly Media, and we're at the book festival with Carl Weber, and we're just going to talk a little bit about everyday things. So what kind of questions you have for me today?
Okay, Mr. Weber, can you tell us about your latest book?
The grand opening.
The grand opening.
The grand opening is probably my hottest new book, or hottest book that I've written in a while. It's about, based in the 70s. It's part of the Family Business series, which is soon to be a television show. Just recently signed a deal with Flavor Unit, Queen Latifah's company,
nice.
for a TV series with the Family Business. So the grand opening is the prequel to that series. It's the love story between the parents, LC and Chippy. It's got a lot of drama in it. Takes us back to the 70s, a real cool period piece. Recently made the New York Times bestseller list, so we're really excited about that.
Nice. It doesn't shock me. I mean, you're an amazing author.
Well, thank you.
Read a couple of your novels myself. So how many books have you written and published now?
Wow, I've written probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 28. I've co-written, probably another 5 to 10. And my publishing company has published somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 books, urban books.
Okay. Also, what's your favorite? Because I know you have 28, but there has to be one that you just really...
I probably have 3 favorites right now.
Okay.
Married Men.
Okay.
So You Call Yourself a Man, and The Grand Opening.
Okay. And when did you start writing?
1998.
1998. Mm-hmm. What pushed you to writing? I mean, was it school? Did you always have a passion? Was it poetry? What started it all?
The crazy thing is I never had a passion for writing. Always had a passion for money.
Don't we
and part of it came down to challenging myself because, I needed to make a living.
Oh, well, that's a very interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
So with all of your 28 novels, are they based on anyone? Did you meet someone and say, hey, I have to put them in my book. I have to find a way to tell their story?
Well, I would basically say that most of my books are fiction based on fact.
Okay.
Story or something that somebody told me or something that happened to a friend of mine. No, not all of my books are about me, although I do have a lot of drama in my life. It's basically based on the drama of friends and friends of friends.
Okay. And where can we find your books?
Everywhere. Walmart, Amazon, anywhere books are sold, you can find a Carl Weber book. So check it out. Latest book is The Grand Opening, so y'all got to check that out.
And where can we find you? So social media is real big right now. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have everything, and I know that my audience wants to find you.
Okay, you can go to carlweber.net, or you can go to, for Twitter, I am Carl Weber, or Facebook, I am Carl Weber, and you'll find me.
Okay, and do you have any words of wisdom for anyone who's beginning to write?
Finish the book. The hardest part about being an author is finishing the book.
Well, there you hear it, Mr. Carl Weber and all of his wonderful advice, his storytelling. Thank you for allowing me to interview you.
Thank you for having me.
This little minor struggle we're having here. You've been tuned in to Black Butterfly Media. Welcome back to Black Butterfly Media Television. We're here at the 4th annual Black Writers and Book Club Literacy Festival. I'm here with wonderful author, Mr. Brian Smith. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your most recent book, Quagmire?
Well, Quagmire is about the traditional and one of the most complex moral dilemmas out there. Once you get married, does your loyalty go with your spouse, or are you always most loyal to your sibling?
So, you wrote about this. How do you feel about that? Are you married? Do you have your loyalty to your wife first or to your family?
You know what? The reason why I wrote about this book was because I don't know if it's an easy answer. In this book, this man has to decide whether or not to tell his wife that her missing sister was murdered by his brother.
Very interesting dilemma.
So I think that anyone can sit here and be politically correct and give the politically correct answer, but marriages come and go. Siblings are forever.
That is very true. So, how long have you been writing, and how many books do you have published?
I've been writing 10 years. I've written 15 novels, and this is number 15. I own a publishing company, Holly Grove Publishing, and I'm a professor, adjunct professor.
Oh, nice. So you've been in the game for a while now. Where do you teach at?
at a community college in the Dallas area. Yeah, I live in Dallas, originally from New Orleans. Yeah.
He's one of our featured artists here today, so he's a very amazing writer. What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out?
Be prepared for a marathon, it's not a sprint. It takes 10 years to become an overnight success. You know, so I think a lot of people get in with unreasonable expectations, you know. So if you temper your expectations, work harder than you play, you'll get where you need to be.
And out of all your books, do you just see the vision of touching your audience via books, or do you see these moving on to screenplays, feature film movies, anything like that?
Yes, I do. And I'm in discussions right now to have some books option to become movies. But that's a long, drawn-out process. I don't get caught up in that. What God has in store will happen in God's time.
So how can our audience connect with you? I know social media is super huge right now.
Right.
There's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's Instagram. Where can we find you? How can they reach you?
I'm all over the place. If you go on Facebook, you can find me at Brian W. Smith. Just type that in, or type in Holly Grove Publishing. Either one, it'll bring me up. Author Brian W. Smith on Instagram. Team BW Smith on Twitter. Yep.
Well, thank you for allowing me to interview you. And you're here with Mr. Brian Smith. He has lots of novels out. Get into a bookstore, get one, read one. Very interesting. You're with Black Butterfly Media.
Peace.
We're back with Black Butterfly Media Television, and we have famed author Quan with us right here, and he's going to tell us about his book, No Shade.
This is my latest release, No Shade, which is it catches up with it for people who are familiar with the Hood Rat series. The girls from the original Hood Rat novel, they're a little older now, a little wiser, and so two of the characters are getting married, Billy and Marcus. So the book basically revolves around the struggles they go through as a young African American couple trying to plan this wedding without a wedding planner. And it's like, it's not as easy as people would think, especially like when, you know how it is, it's like when your friends are like, I'm happy for you, but they're not really happy because they're getting married, you're getting married and they're not. So she's dealing with that. And on the flip side of it, the husband is like, you know, baby, I want you to have your dream wedding. Spend whatever you want on the wedding. But he's going broke.
So can you tell the audience how many books that you've written, you've published, and what other authors are you helping out, or have you published books for them?
I think I've written maybe 30 books today. Actually, I keep moving back from the microphone because I feel like you're trying to jab me in my eye. But I've written like maybe 30 books to date. I published several other authors. Actually, one of my authors is based out of here in Memphis, Renisha Pittman. She has Dog Food 1 and 2 under Right to Eat Concepts, and she just released Disrespectfully Yours independently. So, you know, with the authors, I kind of like, I don't just want to publish them, I want to teach them how to publish themselves. So that way when they can go and they can, you know, stand on their own and do their own thing. So, you know, I'm just moving, working, trying to keep busy, trying to pay my blessings forward, that kind of thing. And Animal 4 is coming out in a couple of weeks. Because that's the question, everybody's tracking me down. Animal, do you have Animal 4 yet? A couple of weeks, it will be out October 13th is the tentative release date.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to get that book because I've definitely been reading the Animal series. So continuing on, I mean, you've written so many novels, you've written so many books. What's next? Do you think screenplays? Do you think movies? What's next?
I had just got, actually, when I went outside, I had just got a really good, positive email about potential film in the works. I don't want to talk too much about it because, like, me at this stage in my career, like, I've done the film dance, you know? So I really don't like to put it out there until I'm actually on set and we're in production. But if everything plays out accordingly, you will see a Quan film very soon.
Well, let's cross our fingers and hope for that. We're definitely going to hope for that. So we're here at a literacy festival. How important is literacy?
Literacy is very important. I mean, because like words are brain food. They're food for your brain. You know, we like depend on literacy. I think that a lot of times it's getting lost in the source and people are moving away from books because I always hear people talking about, I don't read. What do you mean you don't read? You don't read or you can't read? Which one is it? So, you know, I think like there's with that mindset, there's a lot of young adults and grown people who genuinely can't read. So I think we have to kind of bring the focus back to the importance of literacy and books and just knowledge and just sharing knowledge and building wealth of information. Like, it's important. We couldn't really do anything. Like, if we couldn't think, then we couldn't count. Like, if we couldn't read, then we couldn't learn, you know? So I think that's big. That's big. You know, it's all cool. It's cool to turn up and turn your ass up in a book. Read a book. Turn up and do that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say the A word.
It's okay. You sound like my mother just a little bit. We're gonna continue. We're gonna continue on.
Me old on the low.
No. My mom just has a potty mouth, is what I'm saying. You're not old at all. You just seasoned well. That's how you think about that. Continuing on, I wanted to ask you, where can we purchase these books?
Anywhere books are sold. Walmart, Target, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Street Corner, anywhere. No, I'm serious. We have vendors in New York, so they sell the books on the corners.
Are you originally from New York?
Yeah, I'm from Harlem.
Crazy. So, is this your first time in Memphis? Yes. I mean, some people just have sports teams, and then some people are actually loyal to the soil. But I didn't know.
Socks. See my socks.
Those are
Patrick Ewing, Nick Legend.
Those are some socks. So, are you enjoying your time here in Memphis?
I'm loving Memphis. I'm going to go out and get me some good barbecue tonight, and I'm going to visit Beale Street and some of your fine watering holes.
Alrighty. Well.
What's the best place to eat in Memphis?
I couldn't tell you.
I know. That's why I just asked you. I'm interviewing you now. Just threw it out there.
I can tell you.
She just drew a blank
Because I'm from Las Vegas. I moved to Memphis in December, so I mean, I've eaten a couple places, but I can't say what's the greatest here. I mean, someone told me Central Barbecue when I first got here, and I've eaten there, and it is good.
The last time I was here, they told me that this one place, I can't think of the name of it, and even if I could think of the name of it, I wouldn't throw them under the bus. It was like, you got to go there. They got the best bar, and I was not really impressed with the barbecue.
Oh no!
I'm not. That is not a negative reflection on Memphis. I love Memphis. Memphis shows me love, and I reciprocate it. But you know, when you got your mind set, your mouth set for something, they're like, this is the best. I'm like, my grandma cooked better barbecue. It's all right. It ain't John Blaze, but it's.
Well, now, okay, so we know where to purchase your books, but I'm pretty sure my audience is wondering, how can we get in contact with him? How can we write him? Where can we follow him? You know, social media is big right now. I know you're on something. Let me know.
I'm on everything. I'm on, you can go to my website, which is kwanfoye.com, KWANFOYE.com, and it will connect you with all my social media. I'm on Facebook as Quan, Right to Eat. I'm on Instagram as Quan_I Am Legend. I'm on Twitter as Quan141. I think that's it. But my website will just connect you with all of those. Okay. And if all else fails, you can Google me.
If all else fails. Well, we've been here with Mr. Quan, an esteemed writer. His latest book, No Shade, which I'm going to pick up and read myself. And you've been tuned in to Black Butterfly Media. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Black Butterfly Media Television, and we're here with Mr. Myron Maize, and he's going to answer a few questions for us. So you have a book club.
Yes, it's the What's Happening Myron Book Club. We're like 4.5 years old. Each month, you know, the people in the book club pick a book, but in addition to that, regardless of whatever book we pick or whatever book we read, I always bring a local author every month to come by and speak.
So where are you from, Mr. Myron?
Originally, Olive Branch, Mississippi. It's like southeast Memphis right now, but yeah, country boy.
Okay. So with your book club, what is the current book that you're reading, and can you tell me about it?
Okay, the current book, actually we would have had a book club meeting this month. However, in September, we usually don't do a book club meeting because we're all here, and we usually meet on the third Saturday, so we kick back up in October. We have not picked a book just yet for October, but they're working on that. I actually have book club help now and everything, so they're pulling the book selection together for October.
So we can say that you're an avid reader, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is your favorite book, or what author inspires you? Like, who are you just like, I have to read if you see their name pop up?
Well, I'm kind of different. My the books that I tend to gravitate toward are more like business books. But as far as the book club, your hot, steamy, books by, maybe your Zanes or Carl Weber and a lot of those authors, we usually pick books like that for the group. But my choice of books are usually business books because that's sort of where my head is at and everything. But the book club sort of reflects the book selections really sort of reflects the book club members, which are mostly African-American female, 35 to 55 years old. So you can kind of guess, what kind of books we end up reading. and everything too.
Okay, so you said 35. However, what if I wanted to be in the book club? I'm a little younger. Is there age range?
We don't have an age limit, you know. I guess because of some of the content of the books, you know, we prefer you be adult and everything. However, my primary core audience is 35 to 55, so that's sort of what I try to gravitate toward and what I try to shoot for as far as my target and everything. However, you fit also. So yeah, as long as you know, like the books we read, you're more than welcome to join. Here's how you join. Go to Facebook. We have a What's Happening Myron Book Club group. Just send a request to join and you'll be a part of the 300 people that are in the book club.
Okay, so did everyone hear that? On Facebook, What's Happening Myron Book Club, to join the group so you can get in on this, because they read some very interesting novels. They haven't picked one yet. You actually might be able to put in some input to get next month's book in the group.
Exactly. And can I just plug one more thing? Starting October the 1st, of 2015 is going to be the launch of What's Happening Radio. What's Happening Radio is going to be my 24-hour, 7-day-a-week internet-based radio station. So it's going to feature my show, the What's Happening Myron Radio Show. It'll be coming back and it will debut on October the 5th. So we're going to have a 24-hour station. We're going to play some good R&B. We're going to play a little old school. We're going to do some independent artists. And we will play local artists as well. So if you're a local musician, local artist, you've released some materials, and you're published through ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, give me a shout. You can drop me a line on Facebook, inbox me. I'm under Myron Maize, or you can either email me at myron@what'shappeningmyron.com. And we're going to get some local artists showcased. We're going to get their music in rotation, and we're going to put out a real good product.
So I see that you're into social media, because you have Facebook, so they can email you. What other avenues can we reach you? Do you have a Snapchat? Do you have an Instagram? Are you on Twitter? How can our audience meet Mr. Maize?
Okay, I'm on Twitter at Radio Myron Maize, Instagram, Radio Myron Maize, YouTube, What's Happening Myron, my website, what'shappeningmyron.com. Coming up October the 1st, when we launch the radio station, the website is going to be what'shappeningradio.com. And let me see, where else am I? I try to be everywhere, but you just gave me some other ideas, so I'll be on Snapchat and all that stuff before the end of the day, so just be looking for me right there too.
Okay, and one last question, because we're here at a literacy festival. Tell me about the importance of literacy, especially here, especially for the Black community. How do you feel about it?
Oh man, you know, you always hear that saying, reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. It's always thrown out at you, but we don't necessarily pay it a lot of attention. We know that it's something good and it sounds good, and a lot of us actually, you know, don't realize what, you know, fundamental really means. But, you know, we go through life and we get by. You know, we learn just enough where we can actually function, but you know, we can always learn more. Our understanding would be a whole lot deeper if we took the time to just, you know, read and comprehend what we're reading and understand what we're reading and everything. And you'd be surprised, you know, as to the amount of people who we, you know, interact with every day, and they have such a difficult time reading, and we never realize that. So it's very important. It's important to us functioning. It's important to us understanding each other and understanding the world that we live in.
That's very true. Well, thank you, Mr. Maize, for allowing me to interview you today. Everyone, stay tuned to Black Butterfly Media Television. Hello, you're here with Black Butterfly Media Television, and we're sitting with Miss Sheila, the founder of the Black Writers and Book Club Literacy Association, and we're here at the 4th annual festival, and we've had so many wonderful authors, but I definitely wanted to sit down with Miss Sheila and get her take on the festival, the history, and of course the importance of literacy.
Well, you know, thank you for having me. I am just so excited. It's been great today. You know, this has really been a dream come true for me, so I'm just still in awe.
Well, it has been wonderful. I mean, just seeing everyone here, all the different types of authors, speaking on authors or different types of literature. What is your favorite? Nonfiction, fiction, you know, spiritual writing? What really pulls you?
Well, I'm an avid reader overall. And of course, I write fiction books, and primarily Christian fiction. But I love reading all genres of books. So I really don't have a favorite, but I guess if I had to choose between fiction and nonfiction, probably fiction. Because, you know, it just makes you imagine things, and it takes you places where otherwise you wouldn't be able to go sometimes.
Very true. So, Miss Sheila, can you tell us the importance of literacy and tell me how you feel this festival impacts the Memphis region?
Literacy is extremely important. When I spoke earlier this morning about literacy, it was just to say that here in the city of Memphis, especially among African Americans, the literacy rate is at an all-time high. And as you heard Literacy Mid-South say this morning, over 70% of 3rd through 8th graders aren't able to read on their grade level. So that means there is a serious dilemma here. So my vision for this particular festival, which is just one of the things we do to culminate what we do during the year with the Literacy Association, is to bring an awareness of authors, of reading, the fun that can be found in reading, and to just bring all these authors from all over the country to show, hopefully, this city and this community how crucial it is to be able to read and to be literate.
Very true. So I have one more question. While we're here, what other things do you do throughout the year, and how can anyone in the audience get involved?
First of all, we try to target mostly low-performing schools. Again, those schools that have low reading scores particularly. And we go into those schools, we set up reading programs, we give free books. We're always looking for new ways to connect with our young people, because that's where it starts, the young people. And then they'll grow up being literate. So during the year, that's what we do. We actually go in there and we dress up as different characters. Sometimes we encourage the kids to read back to us. We award them with prizes, and we just try to inspire them and motivate them to be the best person that they can be. And when you do that, I believe literacy will automatically begin to be a positive thing instead of a negative thing. And you won't hear kids saying, well, I don't like to read and I don't like to do that. You have to connect with them on their level, and that's what we try to do throughout the year.
So I'm wondering, if we had someone in the audience that's watching and they wanted to get involved, how can they get involved? How can they contact you?
Well, they will contact us. Our email is BWABC1@gmail.com. That's the number 1, BWABC1@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/BWABC. You can also visit our website where you can sign up. You know, we have a mailing list, BWABC Literacy Festival.com. Or you can just Google us, you know, the BWABC Literacy Association, and you should be able to reach us that way.
Can you tell us what's next? What's next for this year as far as the association?
We want to continue to grow. We're a nonprofit organization, a newly formed nonprofit. So right now we are concentrating on just becoming better and becoming where we can reach out more and have more programs, provide more resources, not only to children but to young adults and adults as well.
Thank you, Miss Sheila. I've had an amazing time today here at the Literacy Festival. I've met some amazing authors. I think we had a young lady who was 9 who wrote her first book, which was just crazy for me. I'm like, at 9 writing books, amazing. We had a vintage, I think she said vintage teenager, an older lady that wrote her first book, close to 80, which I was like, wow, like there's no age range on writing books, and it's up to you just to push yourself and to be able to interact with everyone here. I'm completely grateful. So thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate Black Butterfly Media. You're one of our #1 sponsors. You know what? We couldn't do this without you. There's no me without you. So thank you, Black Butterfly Media.
Thank you. You've been tuned in to Black Butterfly Media. Stay tuned. You've been tuned in to Black Butterfly Media Television. You've been here with us for the 4th annual Black Writers and Book Club Literacy Festival here in Memphis, Tennessee. We've met some interesting people, some wonderful authors, and of course have heard about a ton of new books that will touch everyone. If you missed out coming today, it's okay. As long as you watch the channel, you're good to go. Stay tuned and continue to watch us on YouTube. Thank you for the support, and we were glad to have you.